everyone, I'm Ellen. I'm Buckeye Cross Stitcher on both FlossTube and Instagram. Today's June 12th, 2026, and this is FlossTube number 20. And today happens to be my 67th birthday. So happy birthday to me. And I did put a few online orders in for happy birthday to myself. So I'll be looking forward to those things coming in. Well, Sunday night I want to order the Sip and Stitch box from Primrose, so that'll be part of it. I'd like to welcome everybody, new people, especially my subscribers, and anybody returning. I really appreciate it. I missed doing a video in May. Jim and I were traveling. We went for 2.5 weeks. We took a road trip out west, and when I say road trip, I mean we drove 5,665 miles. We covered 17 states and got one crack in my windshield of my brand new van. So we were so happy to get home, but we did enjoy ourselves, and this was a bucket list trip. We saw a lot of things that we've both always been wanting to see. We both saw things that we had seen before, and we got to visit with his brother and sister-in-law. They have a farm in Kansas, so that was a lot of fun to see them. We don't get to see them very often. So I am going to show in this video photos of the 3 cross-stitch shops that I was able to stop at. So I'll show you my haul from there. I didn't get a whole lot. I just don't need a whole lot anymore, but I did find a few treasures, and that's what I love about going to an L&S is when you actually actually go into the shop, you get to see different things that they have that nobody else has or that you can't necessarily get online. So I really enjoy visiting them. I got my StitchCon shirt on, kind of, thinking about them the next couple weekends. It was just too close to this big vacation for me to want to try to attend this year, so I didn't do that, but I am kind of having a little bit of FOMO not being there, so maybe next year I'll get there. So stay tuned. I've got a lot to show you, and let's get to it. At the beginning of the video, I showed you some photos of my patriotic decor. I have so much patriotic stitched, and I really hope to get a lot more of it FFO'd, but that just didn't happen. Just kind of the month of May was all about that vacation, getting packed, and just all that. So I have a lot to work on upstairs and get finished, but I am still working on happy 250th birthday. This is the SAL where Lindsay was talking about everybody stitching 1 star a day. I've been working on stitching 7 stars every Sunday. I have, I don't know, maybe caught up some extra ones, but I'm going to put my last star in on July 4th. And it's hard to believe that that is almost here. This year has definitely flown by. I think everybody's kind of saying that, but this is where I'm at. Oops, I got a bunch of thread. I guess it's just what I was working on. So I've got that. I've got a few more stars on this row and then finish that row and I'll be done. And I've been thinking about maybe stitching something on the bottom. I've seen some other people doing that, so I've kept some examples. So when I decide what I'm going to do on that, I will give credit where credit is due. So what I mostly did work on in May, it was kind of my mania project, being monogamous, was One Nation. And I did not get a lot done on this, mainly because this is 16 count, which is probably even a little smaller than that because I have, I guess I'll get the clips out because I have put, I've washed it, I've put that antiquing stuff on it a couple times and that kind of thing. It was just really hard for me to see, and it was too hard to stitch on. Um, in the van, the light was good in the van, but the roads were bumpy. And then in the hotel, man, they just need to give us some decent lighting in the hotel. I didn't take my little hot light magnifier thing. I just, I don't know. I ended up reading a book, and I really enjoyed that every night, kind of settling in and reading a few chapters of the book. And I'll tell you about that here in a little bit. But I've made a couple milestones on this. I've stitched all of the big stripes. I think you can see that. And I have completed 3 pages of the pattern, and whoops, I have this stripe left of the white, and that's it, and I will be done. And I decided that I'm going to put the last stitches on this on July 4th as well. I keep spreadsheets on everything, and so dates kind of matter to me. I'll make little notes at the bottom of the spreadsheet as to, if it's somebody's birthday or a reason that I wanted to finish something on a certain day or something like that. So that's all in my notes. So that's why I want to finish this on July 4th. But I am so excited about this. Almost being finished, and I will be glad when it's finished because I don't usually get burned out on things. My philosophy is it's all X's, and that's what I love to do, stitch the X's. But I'm kind of getting burnt out on this, and I will be happy to be able to move on to some of the other fun projects I have in my lineup. Okay, the book that I was talking about that I read on vacation was The Heart of Bennet Hollow. This is by Joanne Bischof. I think it's Bischof DeWitt. She is the story stitcher here on FlossTube, and that's how I found out that she was an author. And this book was coming out last year, and I purchased it. And I kind of waited for a vacation to read it because, I'm an audiobook girl. So to read an actual book, that's a lot for me to just sit and do that. But turned out on vacation, it was the perfect thing for me. I could see that with the hotel lighting. And I really got into this story. This is not my genre. I'm usually crime drama type, stories is what I listen to. But I thought, I really want to read this. I bought it, and I'd like to be able to give her, a feedback. Well, 5 stars. I really enjoyed the story. I don't know what I expected, and it's a Appalachian Pride and Prejudice retelling. And, I know the story of Pride and Prejudice from movies, but I had not read the book myself. So really, this was a new story to me. So I did enjoy it. If you guys have it and you haven't read it yet, I would suggest that you do. It's really a good book. I really, really liked it. So thanks, Joanne. So since today is my birthday, I do have a birthday start. I've shown this to you guys before, but I will be starting this tonight and taking a break from One Nation for about a week is what I'm going to do, and then I'm going to get back to it and make sure I'm ready to finish it on July 4th. But I'm going to start American Celebration today. So I've been wanting to do this, and it's all about patriotic pretty much for me this year. A few other things stuck in there, but This is what I'm starting, and I'm gonna do it on, I've got 32 count taupe, so I'm hoping that it'll be dark enough for, that looks pretty good. It's a little bit darker than that. I'm hoping that'll be dark enough that the white will show up good. So I'll be testing that first tonight. But I'm looking forward to getting that done. Another one I have kitted up and ready to start is the word swap pumpkins from Stitching with the Housewives. I always like to have one going for them, and I am trying to get this wordplay series finished this year. So I think I may have 2 more after this to do, but I just want to keep going, and they're pretty fast because I do them on 14 count white Aida, so I can stitch really fast on Aida. But also this one, it has probably some fill-in I can do on the pumpkins and that kind of thing, and I may set this up to get ready for my sinus surgery. So when I am trying to heal from that, I'm hoping that I can do some easy stitching. So I may just hold off on finishing this one and keep that finished for when I have downtime with surgery. I see the ENT the first part of August, so I don't know how long it'll be before I can schedule the surgery, but I'm trying to psych myself up for it. Like I said earlier, I did get some haul from 3 cross-stitch stores. First one, it was Las Vegas. It was Stitcher's Paradise, and that is a really, really nice shop. I had learned about it from Christy, Java Girl Stitches, and some of the other floss tubers that I watch, and I thought, well, I'm going to Las Vegas. I need to go there. So that was actually our first stop on the day that we were kind of driving around and touring around town and seeing everything. So I did not have this one in my stash, so I got that. I have the other one, and I want to definitely get that done this year, and I may try to do this one too. I debated whether I wanted this one, but I do. It's a cool eagle, so I'm going to try to find different things to put these on. I don't have the drum from 141 to put the one on. I'm just going to try to find some other round kind of containers or something like that to put these on the top of. So I got that. And then I got some, I don't even know if you can see this, they're mini heart buttons. I don't know if you can see that really well, but so this is one of the things, you know, I like about finding hidden treasures in, you know, at L&S. They're 1/2-inch heart mother of pearls with a shiny front and a natural back. So it looks like I could stitch them on either way. So that was kind of fun to find. And then the other thing, at the register, she had these eyeglass cases. This is my color. So I got that. They were $10. And I'm actually seeing some people use these for like a mini sewing kit or whatever, but I actually needed it for an extra eyeglass case. And it came with a cloth, lens cloth. So I like that, and that's all I got there. And then, of course, driving all the way out there, there's no way I was going to miss going to Primrose Cottage. It was on our way to Zion and Bryce. So we stopped in St. George, Utah, and I got a little bit of haul at Primrose Cottage. Did not see the girls. I was hoping maybe one would be in the store, but I didn't see anybody. So I figured they were back in the back hard at work, probably working on sip and stitch stuff. So they had some little wooden decor pieces, and I thought that watermelon was cute. I like that for my summer decor. And I decided not to order this online because I knew it was going to be at the shop. So I bought this there. You know, I like all the Quakers and the quilts. And that was cute. And then I got Hoppy Heart, the little bag charm. The little frog girl sitting on her mushroom. And then I picked up just a couple of pieces of fabric, 32 count vintage country mocha. I use a lot of that. And then I got a white 20 count Ada Zweigart. So that's all I got there, but it was kind of cool to see. And I will have pictures of the 3 shops here after this segment. And then as we were driving up north, we stopped in Ogden, Utah. It was only about a 10-minute drive actually off the interstate, which I thought it was going to be a lot farther, so I hadn't really planned to go there till I started looking at the maps and stuff, but I got to go to Shepherd's Bush. And we were there like right when they opened at 10 o'clock. That is a really, really neat place. If you're ever in the area, definitely stop by. I kept thinking, you know, this is kind of like the mothership for cross stitch because they've been in business for 40 years, maybe more than that. And it was just really neat to see. It is, I call keepsakes cross stitch on crack. It's kind of like that. But they have a lot of neat displays, things like that. And I did get to talk with Terry real quick, and I don't want to show this because it was like a free pattern. And then I bought a finishing kit to go with it. So it's this little pillow, and then you can buy the finishing kit. So it was called Scrappy Stars, and I think the chenille was actually part of the finishing. So that'll be a fun, quick thing to do. And then I got one of the scissor fobs. They had a lot of these. This is one of their patterns. So I got a patriotic, just a little teeny tiny project. And I think there actually are two patterns in there. And then you get stuff to finish it too. So they had a whole bunch of these in like a row that they had made up, and you buy the kits for that. So you'll see that in the pictures. And then I always like these little scissors. So I bought a couple of these because they're pink, and I had given away all the pink ones. Oh, just broke that off. But I like that they have the cover over that blade because it is really really sharp. So got a couple extras of those. And this was a gift that I got, and this says needles and pins are found within. That I just got that with my purchase, I guess. I didn't even know it was in the bag till I looked later that I got that. So it was really, really fun to be able to go there. And now when people talk about being there, I'll be able to kind of know exactly what they're talking about, and seeing the pictures. Also, I can say I've been there too. So that was a lot of fun for me. I think there was some other shops that might have been on our way home, but we were just ready to get home at that point, so I didn't want to divert too far off of the path. So I'm going to wrap things up here. I am going to do a separate vacation video that I will post on this channel, mainly because it'll be easier for our family and friends to see our pictures. I think between us we had, I don't know, maybe 1,500 pictures. So it's going to be a lot for me to narrow down and just kind of pick the best ones out. But I will have that on this channel. And I hope to be back in July. It'll be after the 4th though, so wishing everybody in the U.S. a happy 250th birthday celebration. And I think that's it. So thank you for stopping, and until we meet again, be excellent to each other.